Good evening, class. My name is Danielle Finley, and this is my audience for today. I will be persuading you on why they should require a child to learn a second language in school. So, do you or anyone you know speak another language besides their native one? Have you ever wished to learn a different language when you were younger so it wouldn't have been so difficult when you're older? Well, by learning a second language and requiring children to learn a second language in school can do three different things for them, such as starting young is the best time to learn a different language. It encourages creativity and abstract thinking, and it widens their world. First, starting young is very beneficial to any child learning a second language. Children are naturally drawn to learning new languages as they are growing up, so involving another language is more easier for them. A different part of the brain, when you're an adult, the different part of the brain than your native language is where the language goes. But when you're younger, both your native language and that language that you are pursuing to learn it goes to the same place, so it's easier for you to remember even as you grow older and don't use it as much. There's even sign language for children with disabilities. If you for other languages to learn, such as French, Japanese, German, Russian. There's also sign language for kids who have disabilities and who may not be able to learn another language as proficiently as other children. And since they are more visual learners, sign language would definitely be more beneficiary for them, especially if also they have maybe even a hearing disability, a slight hearing disability, or anything along the lines of that. Another thing is that it encourages creative thinking and abstract thinking. When children learn a second language, they become much more creative. So I have a poster from a organization called Splash Language Immersion and VIF International Education, and it's a thing about the bilingual brain. So bilingual just means two languages, or multilingual means more than that. And so it does such as understanding math concepts and problems more efficiently, increase reading comprehension as they are growing up, and using logic and focusing, remembering, and making decisions. Suzanne Flynn, a professor of linguistics and second language acquisition at Massachusetts Institute of Technology, that's quite a mouthful, states that children who speak two languages have a distinct advantage. Now, just referring to the poster I just showed you from the Splash organization in VIF, it does seem to help children learn. It also, so the last one, it widens their world. Now, with children who learn a second language, they are introduced to a whole new different culture, different people, different country, and they learn more about it. It opens opportunities to also learn other languages, which, since if you already learned a language first time, such as, let's say, you learn French, then you would be able to have much more ease learning Spanish or maybe even Latin or German or Russian along the lines of that. Now, a personal story for me is I wish I would have had the opportunity to learn a second language when I was younger in school instead of having the more difficulties of learning a language now. It would have definitely been a lot easier. Also, I feel like if the school offered more language curriculums besides just one language. Now, my high school only had Spanish, which wasn't the language I wanted to learn. I wanted to learn Japanese or Korean or even French, but since Spanish was the only option, I didn't have a opportunity to learn the one I wanted to learn. So therefore, I think they also, even if it's online, it would benefit children, hopefully. So the conclusion is starting young is the best time to learn a different language. It encourages creativity and abstract thinking, and it widens their world into a different culture. So I'm going to end this with a quote by Frank Smith, and it is: one language sets you in a corridor for life. Two languages open every door along the way. Thank you very much for listening.